It has been a busy news year on Vancouver Island, and sometimes things that happen half a world away have an impact here. That was certainly the case with the earthquake and tsunami in Japan. Dana Hutchings joins us now with more in Checkpoint.
Stacey, March 11th of this year, a devastating earthquake hit Japan. At a magnitude of 9.0, it triggered a tsunami which reached heights of 40 meters. On Vancouver Island, preparations were underway for the tsunami to reach our shores. Now, living on a fault, there is always a risk. And a few months later, we had a shaker of our own.
Without warning, Japan is in a state of disaster. Buildings now piles of rubble, roads now rivers. Triggering a tsunami, resulting in massive flooding. These images pouring out of the country are haunting reminders it could happen here.
All of this area moves all of a sudden 10 meters. It moves the water with it, and that's what produces the tsunami.
In the dark, all access points to beaches up and down the coast here blocked off, gates closed, and ominous signs posted about a coming tsunami. Evacuation routes are well marked here, but there's no mass exodus, only a recommended evacuation from low-lying areas.
We've been through it a few times. This is the biggest, I shouldn't say the biggest, the most genuine threat, I think, from a tsunami perspective that we've had in my time here. I think people have seen the images from Japan and now the ones that are just starting to develop from Hawaii, and they have a better sense of the legitimacy of this.
All eyes are turning to the water. The tsunami watch started early. The province contacted emergency officials here at 12:30 this morning, warning that a wall of water could be headed its way in the wake of the earthquake in Japan. Alberni residents are very aware of the destructive force this water can pack.
This is where my uncle and auntie lived. Yeah. They lived right there.
Mayor Ken McCrae is a survivor of Port Alberni's tsunami of 1964.
It was unbelievable that nobody was killed. You know, it happened in the middle of the night, and it was just a miracle that nobody was killed.
September 9th, 50 kilometers off Vancouver Island, we had a 6.3 earthquake.
The earthquake rattled the Mid and North Island, and while not everyone says they felt it, those who did say it was an unforgettable experience.
It was a little scary. I thought maybe there was a big truck going by or something like that and shaking the building, but oh no, it was the whole building was moving.
It was like a tremble, and as you looked up, you could totally see things swaying.
Two reasons this year why earthquakes are among the top stories on Vancouver Island. And our checkpoint question, what do you think are the top stories on Vancouver Island for 2011? You can tweet us at @check_news, post on our Facebook page, or of course email checkpoint@checknews.ca.
There is no doubt they are controversial. We are talking about smart meters, and not surprisingly, we've heard from you that they are on the list of the top stories on Vancouver Island. Dana Hutchings is back with Checkpoint.
Stacey, on Facebook, Adam Ames and others told us that smart meters are the story of the year. Are they dangerous? Will they impact our health? And are they a violation of our rights? All questions that have been raised this year.
I question why our government and why a Crown corporation feels that they have the right to come onto my property, my sanctuary, my home, and tell me that they're going to expose me to another level of radiation without my consent.
Jim Smith is just one island resident who's upset about BC Hydro installing smart meters.
The installation of smart meters is an important upgrade to our electricity grid.
He's put his old meter behind a locked cage, and he's not alone.
My information is that it's a violation of my rights, and I will test the waters if need be.
1.8 million smart meters will be installed in BC by the end of next December.
Everything we have, all our scientific evidence, shows that these are well below the lowest, the safest levels anywhere in the world.
The long-term health impact isn't known. Are you personally concerned about smart meters?
I'm not, no. I'm using my wireless laptop all day long. I sit in my living room and I browse the internet and do my work, and there's radio waves there, and I accept that as part of life.
It's a controversy that will last into 2012. That's why it's one of Vancouver Island's top stories for 2011. So what do you think the top stories are? Here are some of your picks from Victoria and Nanaimo.
Ryder has it all. Tour de France.
Probably the bridge that goes over the destruction of the old one, or the non-destruction and the decision to destruct and build a new bridge.
Definitely the Victoria International Cycling Festival, the one with Jump Ship and the Tour de Victoria.
Occupy Nanaimo, I think that's been the biggest one so far.
The earthquake. So I was actually downtown when that happened, and like I had no idea, but when I saw it on the news, I was like, holy.
I think the Occupy movement was pretty big, seeing as all the different places it was in, and street music, street entertainment, the busking in Victoria and Nanaimo is a pretty big topic to me.
The weather being so unpredictable and not really knowing what to go out with. You can't predict the weather anymore.
And don't forget, you can vote for your top news stories on Vancouver Island on our website, www.cheknews.ca. Tomorrow night, we'll reveal the results of your votes, plus look at the story that's leading so far. That's the HST. And that's tonight's Checkpoint.